those vegan guys. Thank you.
Well, hello there, beautiful people. This is one of my kitchen vlogs. I have Jason's in the lounge playing the remake of Resident Evil 2. He's already done Leon's mission. He's now doing Claire. I mean, that sounded awful. He's doing Claire. He's doing Claire's mission, but he's kind of we're very much on the same page when it comes to politics and you know, generally where this country, the UK, is going at the moment. And so he said, go do one of your kitchen vlogs. You know my opinions. He's pretty much done with it all at the moment. And I think we all get to that point sometimes, don't we, where we're just very tired of seeing what would seem to be very easy decisions made complicated, or what we perceive to be people making mistakes in how they vote or what they choose to follow. And this, of course, all comes on the back of the fact that, you know, just a few days ago, this country left the EU. So let's just go back for a little bit, shall we, to when all of this started, when the referendum first kind of took place. And I have cited it before many times, but at the time, before the kind of whilst the vote was happening, or maybe when it had just happened, there's this classic piece of footage of a middle-aged man being interviewed on the street in Barnsley, and the news reporter asking him why he was voting to leave, and he cited immigration, and it was obviously very confused about what our being in the EU meant, that it was people from EU countries could live, work and move freely, but not anyone outside of those. This man seemed to think that that was the case. And of course a lot of people have talked about sovereignty, getting our sovereignty back, without even knowing what they're saying, because we never lost that. We always had that throughout the full 47 years, and we always had our own choices in this country to make our own laws and stuff. There were certain things which were EU directives across all of the EU, you know, like safety standards and things like that. Good things, really. But so yeah, let's go right back to the start of the kind of referendum. It was very clear right from the start that a lot of people had voted to leave the EU because they were anti-Muslim. No, that's true. There were many people interviewed on streets and in pubs and at bus stops and on marketplaces who were saying the same thing. And so, of course, there was a lack of education there. They had not educated themselves about what they were voting for before they voted for it. Then you've got the huge amounts of money paid to Cambridge Analytica, who used Facebook and targeted ads like football and bingo and lottery things, which then led into political ads to sway them to vote to leave. And of course Boris Johnson was involved, even though Boris Johnson, there's video of him, check out the page, Twitter and Facebook, Led by Donkeys, and the fantastic stuff that they projected up onto the scaffold of Big Ben on the day we left. which, you know, Farage and Boris Johnson, and don't comment on it unless you watch it. Don't just assume that you know better. This is from their own mouths. From their own mouths. Boris Johnson said we should absolutely stay in the common market. Absolutely. Nigel Farage said, I never said it would be better out. I've never said that. He said it on a radio show. The fact that so many working class people voted Tory in this last election is testament to how very simplistic things can stick with people, like the 3-word phrase, get Brexit done. Boris kept repeating it over and over and over, while Corbyn was talking about policies that would change the direction of this country and be far better for everybody. Boris just kept saying, get Brexit done, get Brexit done. And let's not forget, he drove the thing through the boxes. People like a simple visual, don't they, or a simple mantra. And it's such a dangerous thing that if you call that out and say you were stupid to have fallen for that, people say, oh well, that's not the way to win people over. That's not fair. That's not right. It's over with now. It's done now. So now we've got to move forward positively. Well, I don't want to move forward positively with people like Stacey and Tracy. I'll link the video of Stacey and Tracy up there. Now, they're not just a cherry-picked pair with that opinion of why they voted for Brexit. Well, it's not really an opinion. It's more like a garbled stream of nonsense trying to justify the fact that they don't know actually what they voted for or why. They just kind of went with everybody else. Oh, get Brexit done. But there are hundreds of videos like that, and people can say, oh yeah, the BBC or this or Channel 4 or whatever, they've cherry-picked, haven't they, and they've gone to... No, unfortunately not. And this is why we can't be afraid to talk about it. It isn't that the Labour Party should now change radically. It's that you, the public that voted for this, need to learn how to actually do proper research and look into things. And if you believe you did, and if you believe you have valid reasons for wanting to leave the EU, which aren't anything to do with immigration from Muslim countries, or us having our sovereignty, or us making up our own laws, which we were also always able to do. So those 3 points are moot. I would be interested to know, definitely, because now, yes, now we're here, and now we have to put up with this, and now we have to live with the consequences. But it would be remiss of me, as the person I am, to not say anything about it, to just say, oh right, well it's done now, let's all move forward with a smile. No, because what happens next time when there's a vote? Will the 3-word mantras and the people driving through boxes get to you more than a really well thought out and well planned manifesto? Oh, and let's not forget, of course, that the Conservative Party bought the domain labourmanifesto.co.uk so that they could have a Tory website ripping Corbyn, not the manifesto, just the man, and it worked so well. So many people around this country saying, I'm not voting for Corbyn, I don't like him, he's a terrorist sympathiser, he's this, he's that, he's the one with the best track record, he's the one that's been consistently a good human being. And if anyone would have looked into that, they would have seen it very, very clearly. And so it's a real shame that all the blame has been put on it. He was too radical, too this, and now he needs to be gone, and there needs to be a new leader of the Labour Party. We have to show the politicians what kind of politics work with us, and while we're showing them that 3-word mantras and driving through boxes, or driving a bus, or riding on a bus around the country with a massive lie painted on the side of it, or being involved with companies like Cambridge Analytica and their manipulations and lies. Let's not forget, the Leave campaign was fined for breach of electoral law. £61,000. So I'm mad. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore, and I certainly will not have people dictating to us or even suggesting that this channel should only focus on veganism. If you're a part of this channel, and you have been from the word go, you will know full well that this channel is far from just about veganism. This channel is about Paul and Jason, a vegan gay couple who are very liberal in their politics. We've discussed politics right from the start. I've done many kitchen vlogs about politics, many. So if this isn't your bag, if this kind of thing isn't your bag, but you like the vegan stuff, then please just stick to the vegan stuff. If, however, these kind of vlogs are something that you are that you don't think should be a part of this channel, then maybe you shouldn't be a part of this channel. This channel will be about life in general. We happen to be vegan, we happen to be queer, we happen to be very liberal, and all of that we will discuss on this channel. So Stacey and Tracy and other people like them, I don't know how any of you can defend them, to be honest. When you are making decisions that will affect not only your life but everyone in the country's life, then it should be an informed opinion that helps you make that decision, not a stupid little mantra from a blonde buffoon who is now in charge of this country, much like poor America and their own blonde buffoon. The fact that people like Nigel Farage are being celebrated by so many on Twitter. Well done, you did what so many couldn't do. You're our hero. You should get a knighthood. This is a pathetic little boy who once mentioned in the European Parliament that he wanted to get Britain out of the EU, and everybody laughed at him. And this has been a 20-year mission to get his own back. That's what this has been. It's a little boy who's bitter and angry that he was laughed at, and he couldn't wait to do that final moment, standing up and waving the flags, which you can't do in that chamber. There are no flags in there, which is why the Irish speaker said, put the flags away. The last chance to be dignified and proper was missed completely. And so yeah, we are going to talk about politics. I hate the fact that people are so blinkered. They allowed themselves to be bamboozled, to be taken in by Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage. And people blame the EU for everything. This country's going to pot because of the EU. Most of the decisions in this country, how our infrastructure is, are to do with this country. But Boris Johnson knew all this. He knew that if he could just get you to focus on the EU and put all the blame there, not only would you vote to leave, you'd vote him in to make sure it happened. And he was right. So the elites win. Nigel Farage gets to stroke his little ego because they all laughed at him 20 years ago, and by goodness, he got his own back, didn't he? And Boris Johnson gets to be in power for 5 years, and you put him there. And if you didn't, then obviously I'm not talking to you. You know, because people get offended. I didn't put him in power. Well, this is not directed at you then, is it? Obviously. Excuse me while I have a drink of my coffee. So yeah, I mean, I cried so much on the 30th and the 31st. Just because it feels now like we're so tiny. This country, we were a part of something much bigger, and of course you can't change the EU if you're not in it. And so any chance for us to do better for animals, for example, has gone. This tiny little country, can do better for animals. We won't though, but we could have influenced the EU. We were in a position of power. We were one of the strongest nations in there. And I just worry now that for our kids and our grandkids, for the younger generations of this country, we've taken away their chance to live, love, study, work abroad freely, to just go and come back, and you know, we've taken all that away from them. And so I know that there are some people who have what they might perceive to be good reasons for leaving the EU, but the majority of people were bamboozled, were tricked, allowed themselves to be, by simple mantras and gimmicks and the blame game. It's so easy. Oh yes, nothing to do with us, what goes on in this country, it's the EU, we need out. Slight Boris Johnson thing for you there. So yeah, please excuse the tone of this vlog. It's just I shared a political post of mine, Paul's, on those vegan guys page, and had some people kind of saying, you know, this is not a good thing to share. This is supposed to be about veganism. Yes, we are about veganism, but we're about Paul and Jason. And I think if you see something that maybe makes you feel guilty and then you have a knee-jerk reaction, I don't want you to point out that I did something wrong. If that happens with you, just take a step back out of yourself for a minute and think, maybe I need to take a bit of this information on board. Maybe I need to look into things better in the future. Maybe there's some truth in what's being said here. I will always be European. Always. I'm 50 years old. My entire life has been in the European Union. And I just find it really sad that we've found ourselves now in this position, and that it's too late to do anything about it. But for the last 3 years, the people that did vote the Tories in, who wouldn't normally have done, had so many chances to learn the facts and chose not to, because it was all about get Brexit done. So be mad as hell. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore, and I will call you out on things, and if you don't like that, not my bad, honey. I'm going to say it. There's my pre-warning right there. When I have something to say, I will say it. I don't say things to be offensive to people. If you take offence, well, it's a big deal. I take offence at a lot of things. I take offence at almost everything that comes out of Johnson's mouth. He still got voted in. I take offence at every single word that comes out of Nigel Farage's mouth. Still allowed him to do what he's just done and bamboozle everybody. So, no, I won't be quiet. Yes, I am mad as hell. Yes, this channel will share a lot of veganism, shopping vlogs and and recipes and all kinds of things. But I'll also share when I'm pissed, and I'll tell you exactly why I'm pissed. And if you want to discuss that with me in the comments, great. But this comes, all of my feelings and decisions and thoughts and conclusions come from a place of being informed. I have informed myself before I've made them. In fact, I can prove that because there was a point not so long back where I actually got a bit anti-Corbyn because I wanted the Labour Party to get in, but I wanted them to do what the Liberals were saying they would do, which is cancel Brexit. And then I thought, actually, that's not really fair because a huge amount of people did vote for it. But then when he came up with the plan that would have happened had Labour got in, where, okay, we'll come up with a deal, a proper deal, and if the EU approves it, that will be the vote. There'll be two choices: this deal, EU approved, or remain. And I thought that is a much fairer choice, because everyone would have had the choice then to actually look at the deal and say, yeah, that's okay, because we can leave with that deal, or remain. The only other option was Johnson, who was saying, get Brexit done. No second look. I don't want you going back and looking at how we've manipulated you into doing this. No, don't look back. Let's just get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. Get Brexit done. So maybe if simple mantras work on people, let's start a new one, shall we? For goodness sake, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. We don't want this trend to continue. They're trying to do the same in America now with Bernie Sanders. Make him seem like, oh, he's too radical, he's too much, he would be best for America, full stop, just like Corbyn would have been best for here. But we now live with the consequences of a largely uninformed opinion making a decision about this country's future. And it isn't fair. And I'm mad as hell. And I'm not going to take it anymore. And now I'm going to finish my coffee. Back soon with vegan recipes and vegan shopping videos. And political vlogs. Thanks for watching. Be excellent to yourself and each other.
Really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, it helps us out loads.
It really does. And check down there in the description because you'll find loads of links. The two ways that you can best support us to keep the channel going are through becoming a patron on our Patreon down there in the description, or buying our merch, darling. Fabulous link down there. We deal with a fabulous vegan company called Vegan Original. Check it out, guys.